A small package was in the mailbox this morning, and I already opened it up. I want to show you what I got, and some of these things I don't know what they are. I know that George told me he was going to send me some 2N 3771s, and he did that. But there are some other items in here, so let's take a look. Here are the 2N 3771s, 6 of them. He sent me something here. Audio inputs, Strifle Plus. Not sure what that is. Let me get a closer look at this. Sometimes this camera focus is really good on macro, other times it don't. I don't know what this is, and there's a wire off here, but I'm not sure where it goes, and I don't know what this is. This might be a voice activated circuit. It doesn't look homemade. Power 12 volts. Well, this is the 12 volt. The red is off of it. But I'm not sure if it came out of here or what. But anyways, I'm sure George will chime in and tell me what this is. I think it might be some kind of a circuit for putting an audio signal in and getting it to operate the mount solenoid by way of the Gordo's relay box. But I'm not sure. And I don't know what this is. 3 to 6 volts. Only way to find out is to open it up. I have no idea what it is. But let's open a high voltage. Oh, high voltage generator. That's what it is. Okay. That's what it is, a high voltage generator. Some soldering wick, I appreciate that. I have a lot of it, but thank you very much, George. My soldering wick is very old. It goes back into the 70s. And, yeah, in the 70s, I would say. 1978 anyways. And, you know, you have to renew it with soldering flux. But that's great. Thank you very much for all this stuff. And he sent me the component tester, transistor tester. A 9-volt battery. I guess this is the test button or something. There's push down, it clicks. It seems to be a joystick though. This might be a joystick. Well, thank you very much. That's I think this might be the one that you built on video. You make that look so easy. Well, thank you very much. We will definitely be very careful with this, because these things are extremely delicate. And a spudger, I don't know what a spudger is, but it's a good question. What is a spudger? Do-it-yourself fix. Well, thank you very much, George. I appreciate that. Now, I hope that wasn't too out of focus there, because I was on macro all the while. Yeah, I've been busy with the Dorkel arm motor, and I got it all made up, and it's quite an involved project. and it's just about ready to be installed in Uncle Dorkel's body, and hopefully maybe tomorrow or someday very soon I want to be able to do that. I have some adjustments to make on it. So why don't we very quickly check this thing out here and check this out. This audio inputs. I really don't know what this is, George. So I'm sure you'll tell me. 12 volts here, but I can't tell where the wires come off of. It came off in this area somewhere. I don't think it's on this block here. So, all right. And when I put these pass transistors in, I'll be doing that off camera. Okay, let's get this out of the way first. No instructions in it. So I would say that the red and green would be the input. And judging from the gauge wire, I wouldn't think it would take too much current. And this is probably the high voltage output. It obviously is very, it's got a special, almost like a Teflon insulation on it. Now I've been looking at these things on eBay, but for a bug snapper, it was kind of like overkill. But it's interesting, and I sure do appreciate you sending this. And what we're going to do here is, I don't know how many, let's see. Oh, 3 to 6 volts. So we can't put a 12-volt battery on that. And we can't put a 3-volt on there unless we use my power supply, which is not very hard to do. All right, we're going to put 5 volts on it by way of my original power supply that I had in my old shop that Cool Blue Lights Dan there sent back to me there last year. And I got it set on 5 volts. 5 volts at 1.5 amps. I don't know what the current draw is on this thing here, so I have no idea what the current draw is on this, but we got to be careful. It's high voltage. We don't want to zap out any solid state devices. There are none on this board now. So let me get you back on a tripod here. We got 5 volts in here. All right. I'm going to be busy editing tonight. We got to edit the video of the arm motor. And we have got to edit the this video. So we're going to leave our meter on here so I can see if the voltage takes a nosedive. I can measure current with that meter too, with that power supply rather. And we got to watch out because this thing puts out a heck of a zap here. Need to strip these wires back a little bit here. Let's see. Yeah, I got it on there. Okay. We get a screwdriver here. Get this wire out of the way here. Get all these things out of the way. Okay, so I can go. Let me see if I'm in camera. All right, this is where I'm going to be. All right. All right, now let's take a positive lead. I've got to get a red clip lead here. Okay. Now, Let's see if I can get this. Oh wow, it pulled it down to 1 volt. I wished I knew what the current was on that thing. But a 5-volt power supply puts out 1.5 amps max. And that Heath 2718 power supply, tri-power supply, that I'm using is only made for low current. Yeah. It's pulling it down to 1 volt. So it says 3 to 6 volts. So right now I would have to step into my 6.5 amp power supply. And if that don't work, the 6.5, then I can get my 5 and 6 volts out of here. Well, very quickly I set the power supply to 5 volts. I didn't really try to go too critical here, because it's 3 to 6 volts anyways. We have our current limiting here. I believe this is, I think this is 6.5 amps. It's been a while since I looked up the specs on it. It's 6.5 amps. So let's try it by touching it on here, and I'll see what the voltage is on the voltmeter, which is down here. Okay, so we touch that. All right, it dropped down. And I wonder if that will hurt if I left this on. The amp meter is deflecting. Let me push the current up a little bit more here. Okay, I got the current up a little more. And she's no longer pulling the voltage down to any significant level. And it's just a little over 2 amps draw. So it's well within the range of the power supply, and I can kick the current all the way up and it doesn't increase. 5 volts. It's an analog meter, so it's really hard to get exact.
That's nasty. Whew.
Hard to believe I disconnected it, that they could come up with such power and voltage. Oh, that's warm. I guess it's not made to be left on. There's no specs on this, so wow. Well, well, thanks, George. I don't know what I'm going to use it for. I mean, can you imagine me walking into McDonald's and zapping flies with something that sounded like that? Whoo! All right, well, hey, that's interesting. But boy, that thing got warm, especially down at this end over here, down where the input leads are. Well, that's it. Like I say, I wouldn't want to get hit with that. Okay, well, that's very interesting. It's hard to believe that thing is like tiny. 3 to 6 volts. So it drew a little over 2 amps on this. We'll cut this back down here. We always put our current all the way down, our voltage all the way down. This power supply is good for a 1/2 amp on, let's see, it goes up to 20 volts. It's actually 18 volts at 500 mils and 0 to 5 volts. Actually, it's a 5 volt output here at 1.5 amps. So that's all this will do. And this one here is good for 1 amp max. 1 amp max on that one. And this will go up to 30 volts, actually 31 volts. All right, now I think we'll try this out. But we had to keep this out of the danger zone over here. If this thing got zapped, I'll tell you, we would be in trouble. So let's give this a try. I think I have a 9-volt battery in the shop here somewhere. I'm pretty sure. I believe I have a Sunbeam 9-volt battery kicking around here that we can put on here, and let's give this a try. We'll get you back on the tripod. We have here oh boy, I have to look into this here. We have here a, looks like a T10681 or a TI0681 or a TI068I. Good question. I have no idea what this is. This is one of them that I got in a box of electronics stuff from Jewett City. So, this is going to be hard. You know what I'll probably do is put clip leads on this. If I can get some more of those little clip leads and have little leads coming out of here, because man, how are you supposed to see what you're doing with these tiny things? Well, I'm going to have to spread the leads on this, and I really don't want to do that. Let's try another transistor. I don't even know what this is. Let's try something with longer leads on it. Let's push this. I don't know how to read these things. All right. Well, the first time I tested it, it had something else on there. Let's push it again. I think you just push it down, but it's like a joystick, so maybe you have to move it. I have no idea what that's saying. I can't read that through there. Selection frequency. 16-bit. I have no idea. These things are very, very complicated to use, and I have no idea. That's an old transistor. It looks like a high-frequency one. Been in my junk box for years. I have no idea. I don't even know what that means right there. No idea. I have to get some leads because it takes me so long to connect this up. I can't see to get them into the eyelets. So what I got to do is to get leads in there and leave them in permanently. Something like these here that can go in. Now I got 2 of these wires here. I don't have a third. That came off the other ones. I could probably stick those in there and put clips on the end. But I don't have any more of those spring clips. I would have to use regular clip leads, clips from the clip leads. I have no idea what that is, but this thing here seems to move. See, it's like a joystick. I really need the instructions on that. Maybe George would chime in and tell me how to use this thing, because Power and test. That's all it says, but it's like a joystick. It moves all over. Hey, it clicks this way, it clicks this way, clicks this way, clicks this way, and clicks down. I have no idea. But anyways, thank you very much for this. I'm going to get some leads on it because obviously I may not even be getting good connection. The leads seem to be in there. And then I have no idea what that is. I guess that's external power. Nice bright screen. It's a little small for me to see, but I don't know what this 10-bit PWM, pulse width modulation. I have no idea what that means. But let's take the battery off here because we'll be running the battery down. I appreciate this very, very much, George. I did not expect these other goodies. I knew you were sending these, and I will get on that. And I'm sure we'll be getting more rain, so that's a good rainy day project, as we have a lot of rainy day projects in the shop to do. But if the weather's nice again tomorrow, and it's supposed to be, I want to get working on that Dorkel arm motor. So you'll probably be seeing that video. Probably not tonight because I want to get this up there. I appreciate this again. Thank you very much. And I'll play around with this. But before I can do that, I got to put clip leads on that. I have a few of these. I'll just have to make them probably out of this. I don't like these thin wires. But it got the nice little connector on that. And it'll stick right in there quite nicely. And I can put a clip lead. I just got to find 2 more clip leads. 2 more clips, I should say. Okay, that concludes this video. We'll put everything away here. I'll play around with this later on. And we'll get some leads on it.